I was accused of sexual misconduct by 3 students at the local high school. 2 days later, I was fired from my job. I was facing 160 years in prison. I also faced losing my teaching license.
Did you have sexual interactions with students?
Absolutely not. These students gave their accounts with tremendous differences in them. One of the students said he had intercourse with me at my home during a very specific time and date. I was over an hour away at a doctor's office with my daughter.
They're saying that you had them to your house, that it happened in cars, that it happened in the classroom with the door locked, and you're saying none of it happened, period.
Correct. I was indicted and the criminal saga began.
Now, one of those students recanted his story.
Correct. On the second day of testimony, the state prosecutors asked for a mistrial. All of the charges were dismissed.
Since this has happened, you've never been back in the classroom. They're not even allowing you to volunteer in your child's classroom for free.
The school district is treating me as though I'm a threat to the students. I had to fight to keep my teaching license, even though I was never convicted of anything.
We did speak with one of the boys who says this absolutely did happen and claims that he passed a polygraph. Well, now he's agreed to take another test for us.
Did you lie to me today when you told me that you had sexual relations with Joelle Ogletree?
No.
Sexual contact in her classroom?
No.
Touched each other's genitals?
No.
Well, next I spoke to the accuser and his mother, and he had a lot of details about what he says happened with this teacher.
The kids liked the class because she would bring up sexual things, flirting with the boys. My son was invited to a sleepover at her house.
Is your son there with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you have sexual relations with this teacher?
I did. I put my hand down her skirt and then into her panties, and then she did the same to me.
I'm going to open these polygraph results at this point. It is my opinion that the examinee was practicing deception.
That's very sickening. I know in my heart what happened.
Well, of course, I'm very pleased with the results.
We're going to meet one of the other boys that was willing to come forward and face this teacher in the eye and say what he has to say about what took place. There were 3 students that made these accusations against Joelle. Matt was one of those students, and he maintains that his previous high school teacher is guilty of sexual misconduct. In accordance with that, we asked him, would you sit down with a polygraph examiner and answer relevant questions about what happened and what didn't happen? He says, I am absolutely telling the truth. I have no problem taking a polygraph. So we put him with Jack Tremarco, and he is a polygraph examiner extraordinaire. Take a look at the examination.
My name's Matt. Came out here to LA to take a polygraph. Almost 6 years ago, I was involved in an inappropriate sexual relationship with my teacher. She stands behind her words saying that none of the incidents never occurred. All this I've made up. I took a polygraph when the incident first happened. I passed it 100%, and I came back out here to take another one for the show.
Are you sometimes known as Matt?
Yes.
Regarding if Joelle ever touched your penis, do you intend to be completely truthful with me about that?
Yes.
Did you ever experience touching for sexual purposes with Joelle Ogletree?
Yes.
Did Joelle ever touch your penis with her hand?
Yes.
That'll conclude the test. Remain still.
Joelle has joined us again. The teacher accused of sexual misconduct with 3 students. One has recanted his story. The other, you just saw in the piece from yesterday, took a polygraph test which showed deception. The 3rd student, Matt, who says he had sexual contact with his teacher, has agreed to be here today and take a polygraph, which we have just shown you. Now, Joelle, I want to bring Matt out. You said, who is this chair for? I want to bring Matt out and let you face him. Is that okay with you?
I'm not going to say it's not okay. I have no desire to sit next to him like this, no. but it's not going to freak me out.
What's your problem with it?
Why would I want to be sitting across from someone who has done this to me?
Well, I would think you would want to sit across somebody that's done this to you so you can confront them about what they've said about you that is incorrect.
My goal isn't to get into a screaming match.
That's not going to happen on my show.
Okay. Okay, as long as that doesn't happen, because that's not why I'm here.
Let's bring out Matt. Hey, Joe.
How's it going?
Let's see. You two know each other. The question is how well. She says that you are not telling the truth, that you two did not have inappropriate sexual interaction. Did you or did you not?
Oh, we did.
When did it happen and what happened?
It happened in the summer between my freshman and sophomore year in high school. Late July.
How did it come about and what took place?
She actually called my house, excuse me, talked to my mother on the phone, asked if I could come out and help move some furniture at her house. I was under the impression that several of the boys in the class were going to be there. Upon arriving there, no one was there, just Joelle. She came out of the garage door wearing short bicycle shorts and a white tank top.
Were those considered, or you suggest she was provocatively dressed?
Oh, yeah. I was
okay.
16 at the time. I'd slept with one girl before that. I wasn't a ladies' man.
I wish I had a notepad so that I could be writing all this down very quickly, because I'm not going to be able to remember all of the lies that he's sitting
Well,
here
we'll
saying.
get you a notepad.
Thank you.
Okay, so she came out wearing provocative clothing, and you were there to do what? Move furniture?
Yes.
What kind of furniture?
I believe it was a piano that her husband Doug was bringing in from Oklahoma.
Okay. So what happened?
Well, there was no furniture to be moved. It was just her and I. I believe her daughter was in the bedroom asleep. And, she put in a movie, Spaceballs, I remember. There was a flirty atmosphere. I know that. She then went over to her little bar there in her kitchen, little countertop, wrote on a piece of paper and ripped it in half. Came over to me with her hands behind her back, asked me to pick a hand, which I did, and it said truth, assuming the other one was there. She then asked me what I would think if a teacher kissed a student. And, that's awkward, sitting there with your French teacher in her house, wearing what she's wearing with her husband gone. And being much younger than I was now, I was maybe curious and definitely confused. And then she sat down next to me and we kissed.
Where did you kiss? On the couch, chairs?
On the couch. And deep, making out on the tongue, passionate, or whatever you want to call it. It was, French kiss, to not be, pardon the pun.
What happened then?
We both leaned back. I was a little not confused, worried about what might happen next, what might happen when school was going to start. I left rather abruptly, and I didn't see her again until French 2, the next year of school when I was a sophomore.
All right, let's move to the incident with the French camp at her house.
Yes.
You say you took him home to get medication for a migraine?
Yes.
What happened in the car on the way home?
Well, I take injections. Makes you feel a little under the weather for a few minutes. On the way back, we turned off the highway to go down her county road, and we passed her driveway, went down to the next intersection, pulled over. She left the car running, turned the headlights off, and put her hands in my pants. I let her, and I got a.
And what happened then?
It just came to a stop there within minutes, 10 minutes. I'm not saying it didn't feel good, and I know it wasn't right. And then after being over, we went back to her house with the rest of the boys, her husband, and stayed the night there.
Was that the only other encounter you had?
Yes, those two.
Just those 2 times. Matt took a polygraph test this morning. We had an independent examiner give this. This is not the same that gave the test in Texas. It's somebody independent that wouldn't have any history one way or the other. And that man is Jack Tremarco. You've seen him on the show before. He is the chairperson of the American Polygraph Association Media and Information Committee. He is also a former FBI polygraph unit chief, and you've administered over 3,000 polygraphs?
Close to 3,000.
Close to 3,000 polygraphs.
And by the way, that was unit chief in Los Angeles.
Okay. Were you comfortable with the examiner?
Yeah, I was comfortable with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He treated you well and gave you an opportunity to calm down, answer the questions. You knew what everything meant. And
yes, I understood.
All of that. Yes. Yesterday, one of her other accusers took a polygraph, and he failed that test. Matt took the test with Jack Tremarco. The first question was, did you ever experience touching for sexual purposes with Joelle Ogletree? And your answer was?
Yes.
Yes. Second question, did Joelle ever touch your penis with her hand? Your answer was?
Yes.
Jack, was that result truthful or was it deceptive?
It was deceptive, Dr. Phil.
So, tell me, so we can be very clear, and so Matt can be very clear, that indicates that when he said yes, did he ever experience touching for sexual purposes? He said yes, the answer was deceptive. That was not a truthful answer.
It was deceptive.
What do you say about that? This gentleman is saying, and by the way, this wasn't a borderline interpretation, right?
Clearly deceptive.
This was clearly deceptive.
Yes.
There's a range that can be inconclusive.
Right.
And this was way outside that range.
Clearly outside.
Okay. What do you say about that?
Well, that was not the first polygraph I've taken. The first one passed, that one failed. We did talk about how they work. You know, I've been, people who do not believe me on this subject have been calling me a liar to my face, through interviews, through the radio, and I'm used to that. I don't know what to say. I thought everything was fine this morning when I took the test.
A local story that's making national headlines. A 41-year-old Modesto teacher left his wife and family to live with an 18-year-old former student.
On the right is 41-year-old James Hooker. On the left is his girlfriend, 18-year-old Jordan Powers. The high school senior used to be a student in Hooker's class. The teen's mother believes the inappropriate relationship started when her daughter was underage. Students at Enoch's High have heard the same thing.
She was 14 when they first were together, and that's like pretty disgusting.
Powers recently left campus and moved in with Hooker, who quit his job and left his wife and kids. One of Hooker's daughters is a year younger than his new lover and attended the same school until transferring yesterday.
The girl's mother, as you might imagine, is angry, and she has launched a public relations attack against a man that she is calling a criminal.
The teen's mother waged a Facebook war, claiming the teacher pursued her daughter before she turned 18. Hooker resigned from his position as a high school business teacher and club leader last week after being placed on paid administrative leave while the school district and Modesto police investigate the relationship. No criminal charges have been filed, but police say they do continue to investigate this relationship.
I moved in with my former high school teacher. I am 18 and he is 41 years old.
I have chosen to walk away from my family. I have been married almost 20 years. We have 3 daughters together. I have chosen to walk away from my job to pursue a relationship with Jordan. She was 15 years old when we met the first time.
I'm still in high school and I'm graduating in May. This year I was put into his virtual business class and we took a field trip at the end of November. It just opened my eyes to who he really is.
On that trip, all the kids open up more about personal dating relationships and different things going on. That's where I got to know Jordan better. From there, we started talking more. We became friends. We started texting and talking more on the phone. We actually fell in love towards the end of January. It was a little bit of hugging, a little bit of kissing, but not at school. I was trying to keep it very clean about what we did at school. I was still a teacher, she was a student.
When I had my first kiss with James, he made me really happy, and I got stronger feelings towards him. I definitely had butterflies. I didn't even think about him being my teacher, him being married. I was just so happy. I was in the moment that I didn't care.
I got an apartment. Jordan said, my mom is really angry at me. She's found out, she's told me that she doesn't want me here and that I might as well just live with you.
We are intimate now that I've moved in, and we're taking our relationship to the next level.
I'm not going to kiss and tell. If the question were, how is it being intimate? I will just say that it is something that we cherish together. It is something that's special. Love is a crazy thing, but we are following our hearts. Is my relationship with Jordan worth losing my family and my job over? I have made that choice.
I've raised 2 kids, and I never had this kind of contact going on between a teacher and student. 22 something text messages, phone calls, pictures. What were you talking about?
School stuff. I mean, the ones over summer, like I said, where I have you as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones probably in August are when school started. Just texting him like, oh, like I'm gonna be late to class, because I had his number because I had him Ferguson summer school. I mean, he has a lot of students' numbers. It was all school related.
All right, so then you turn 18 and you say that there was a field trip that y'all went on. And is that when an interest was kindled in Jordan by you?
I think that's when I got to know her better on a more personal level. It was a 4-hour car ride one way, and the students that went, we all talked. We all opened up a little bit about our lives, and so certainly I got to know more about Jordan on that day.
Did you fall in love with her then?
No, I wasn't in love with her on that trip.
When did you fall in love with her?
I would say love probably occurred somewhere in January.
January?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We became closer in December. We became very good friends, started talking a lot more. That's what the text messages and the phone calls will show.
And she's still your student at that time?
Correct.
You have a daughter almost her age, right?
Correct.
Would you be okay with that if your daughter, in a very short period of time, started living with a 40-plus-year-old teacher?
I think if my daughter was 18, I would have a discussion with her. I would trust her judgment. If she wanted to follow her heart and that's where it was leading her, I would have to be supportive of that.
So her mother thinks you are a pedophile and a sexual predator.
I've been called a lot of names, yes.
And she thinks that you are a victim here. And she doesn't believe that this all started when you were 18, which, to me, that's a day on the calendar. I mean, there's a moral compass here and there's a legal standard here as well. And I have a hard time believing it was all just, hey, is my assignment due? This seems to me to be not very feasible, but I don't know. I can't say. But she thinks you're a victim. She thinks you've been groomed by this pedophile and that you are a victim. What do you say?
She's wrong.
Here's my problem. I think when you're put in a position as a teacher, that's a position of authority, right? And the reason that it's not good public policy for students to date their teachers is because it opens the relationship up to potentials of abuse, because you have leverage, you're in a position of authority. And I think there's a moral obligation that most people would ascribe to a teacher to keep an arm's length and appropriate relationship with their students, to not get personally involved with them.
This is not an abuse of authority. It is a 50-50 relationship. It was founded on friendship, getting to know each other, and we're just pursuing that. We're just looking to see where that takes us.
Do you understand the spirit of the law that governs statutory rape? The reason they say that if an adult has sex with a minor, that it's it's statutory rape even if they both consented. And the reason they say that is because the child can't give consent. They're not mature enough. They don't understand the consequences. They cannot give consent. So therefore, it cannot be a consensual act. And there are some states that have laws against an educator-student having an intimate relationship. It is a felony.
We're accused of starting this relationship when she was 14. I didn't even know her till she was 15. I think there are 22 text messages that you found before she was 18. Mm-hmm. I don't, what those messages are or what they aren't, if they were pulled up in terms of the actual record, the actual wording. And then after the date that you mentioned, there were none. I don't know that there were any more text messages or phone calls until we went on the trip.
You bought her a secret cell phone, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't buy her another cell phone?
I didn't.
Did you buy another cell phone?
I did, yes.
So those records from the known numbers just ceased to exist, right? Because there was a new cell phone was introduced.
Yes.
You understand that it doesn't look,
but
it doesn't
that was
look great.
In January.
Is this relationship in her best interest? Is she giving up too much?
I don't believe so. I think we are both following our hearts and pursuing love. I believe that we can have a life together.
So when you're 40, he'll be 63.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and?
Well,
I don't have a problem with it.
That's a big gap. Because see, the older we get, the faster we age. See, you'll stay pretty much the same. But the older we get, we age more rapidly. Yeah. Do you worry that she's going to meet some flat-bellied, hairy-legged 18-year-old that's going to, sweep her off her feet, and you're sitting back there follically challenged and 43? I can say that. I understand.
We live, yeah. No, I'm not worried. I believe in what we have.
I call James the arrogant pervert. To engage in a dialogue with a child at 17 shows a perversion. I think after the initial shell shock of all of this, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, but I'm adamant. I'm still gonna collect and find information to have James Hooker arrested. I hope he goes to jail.
Tammy, come on out. What do you want to say to James?
I think you have no moral compass. I think you're arrogant. I think you're self-serving. I think you're selfish. I think you're ruining my child with this. It's horrible.
What do you want to see happen?
Oh, I want her to leave. She doesn't need to be with him. This serves your purpose for you, not for her. This is all about you.
It's 50-50.
50-50? Jordan, you're a child. I bought Lunchables for you.
You didn't buy Lunchables
2 weeks ago.
for me
You're
2
a
weeks
kid.
ago.
He's an adult. He knows better.
Can you understand how she feels?
I understand where she's coming from as a mom. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. She's entitled to her opinion, but that's a lot of all she's had is her opinion.
She's known this child from the moment she was conceived. She has been with her. She knows her. She cares for her. She has a history with her that you don't have. And so to poo-poo this or to dismiss this is just everybody's entitled to opinion and she's got one, seems to me to be disrespectful.
Extracurricular activities land a local high school teacher in big trouble.
The King High School teacher in question is accused of having sex with a student.
Do you have anything to say? 29-year-old Tanya Ramirez's arrest affidavit untangled the story of what led to her arrest. It began with a concerned parent back in June who told the King High School principal there was a sex tape floating around school containing a student and a teacher.
He told his principal that he sent a video clip of he and Tanya Delane Ramirez having sex to 11 of his friends.
Investigators also discovered over 300 texts between Tanya Ramirez and the student.
Her defense argued that she and the student were consenting adults, 17 the legal age of consent here in the state of Texas.
Well, a former teacher, remember this one, accused of having an improper relationship, well now it's plural, improper relationships with two students.
Now, the second accusation surfaced last week.
King high school teacher accused of having sex with a student last year could soon make a deal with prosecutors.
Tanya Ramirez pleaded no contest to having sex with a second student. She was sentenced to 7 years probation, and she won't have to register as a sex offender.
Tonight, in a bizarre twist, that same teacher goes after the boy victim's mother.
Tanya Ramirez is now suing the student she had sex with for invasion of privacy. Ramirez is also suing the student's mother, claiming that woman went to various media outlets last year, calling Ramirez publicly a sexual predator and accusing her of sleeping with several students. Ramirez claims that caused her emotional distress and led to her losing a job.
I met Tristan at the beginning of May 2014. I was 29 and he was 17. He came into my classroom, he introduced himself, and he asked for my number. We text back and forth for 3.5 weeks. The last week of texting, it was a little bit more flirtatious. On one of the text messages, I explained that I was tired, and then he did reply back, I give good massages, and I said, oh really, that would be nice. I didn't think it was wrong. It never once felt like I was talking to a child. I wasn't thinking, wait a minute, I'm a teacher, because I felt this was all happening outside of school. We decided to meet up. He came over to my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's a knock at the door, I let him in, and then we did go immediately to the bedroom, and one thing led to another from there. That night was the last time I had contact with Tristan. That following Tuesday, when I was called into the principal's office, she sat me down and said that a video had surfaced of a student at the school and a coach having sex. He had his phone in his pocket, and then while having sex, he pulled it out and I didn't see it, so I didn't notice, and it was only about 10 seconds. He's admitted that he distributed the video to 11 of his friends through his phone, and then from there the video went to, I don't know, numerous amounts of people. When I found out there was a tape, I was in shock, felt betrayed. We had been talking for almost a month, so I trusted him that I could have sex with him and him not say anything, and we could keep it a secret. I do now feel that I was set up. I do feel that there was some type of motive or intent to get it out there that he had sex with a teacher.
Okay, Tanya, it's good to meet you. You say you felt like you were set up.
Correct.
How so?
Well, the fact that he hid his phone, and then obviously as soon as it was finished, he distributed it to 11 of his friends. And then from there, it went viral.
Okay. So you think it was like a trophy thing?
Correct. Like he wanted some kind of recognition after, sleeping with a teacher.
You said that afterwards you were surprised that he didn't get in touch with you.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that there was no communication at all, even before I had gotten into trouble.
But you did have communication with him, didn't you, the next day?
No. The next day, just one text in the morning, and that was it.
What was that text?
He texted me that he had a great night, or it was great, or something in that matter. And then I text back that, yes, it was, that, maybe we could do it again.
So y'all both had a good time?
Mm-hmm.
So this wasn't an impulse thing. You had been texting for 3 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
You say you didn't know it was wrong.
Well, I'm saying I didn't think it was legally wrong. I know, obviously, with my profession, I crossed a boundary, with the contract that I signed. But legally, I didn't think I would be classified as a felon being charged with having sex with a consenting adult.
Okay, so you knew from a teacher standpoint, just teacher ethics?
Correct.
That it was a breach of your contractual agreement?
Right.
So you have no problem with that part of it?
Exactly.
You said, I agreed not to have sex with the students.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did.
Mm-hmm.
But you thought, okay, so then fire me, but don't charge me as a felon.
Correct.
So you were surprised when you were charged?
Yes, I was very surprised.
Did you think he showed it around school for bragging rights?
From what I've heard, yes, it was exactly what it was, bragging rights.
Tanya, you don't text me back. When you see me, you don't say anything. So what's up? Tristan, haha, same with you. And okay, promise I'll talk to you next time. Tanya, that's on you. I'm not forcing you to do or say anything. You just got to let me know what you want. I'm going out of my way to text you first or go out of my way to see you, but I won't if that's not what you want. Tristan, I will. Tanya, you will what? That didn't answer my text. Tristan, I do want this, is what I'm saying. Tanya, well, I'm beyond glad to hear that. Had you fallen for him? Were you in love with him?
Oh, no.
Well, later that day you said, I haven't asked you, but how old are you? So you didn't know?
Well, no, I knew how old he was. I wanted to make sure that he was telling me the truth, but I knew from records. I could look it up already.
Had you?
Mm-hmm.
So you were making sure he was legal.
Well, I was making sure that he was telling me the truth.
He says 17, ha ha. You say ha ha ha. When's your birthday? March 24th. Oh, that's a long time before you're 18. Yeah, I know. What was important about 18?
Well, no, I mean, just 18 years old. I feel like you're 18, don't have any sort of, conditions with your parents or anything of that nature.
Do you have a girlfriend? Got to ask that because I got played big time by you know who. Cough, cough. Laugh out loud. No, I don't. Who were you talking about there?
Well, we have a mutual friend. He would post tweets or something saying, oh, Miss Ramirez, joked with me today, or oh, she said hi to me today. So he would try to get his girlfriend jealous, and I didn't know. And so I was like, I'm not going to deal with any girlfriend type things or anything of that nature because that's not, nothing's happening right now.
Well, you're a teacher.
Right.
It seems like an unusual dynamic that you're talking about jealousy of a student girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem odd?
No, because if you're in high school and you see the way that the students are, that's just girlfriends, boyfriends, they'll get jealous of anyone. I've had to deal with that numerous amounts of times.
Oh, hell, I was in high school and I didn't see any of this didn't ever happen when I was. Is it just me? All my teachers look like Aunt B. I missed all of this. I just, okay, so then on the 30th of May, this is the night, right? This is when it happens. You say, what time you coming through?
Mm-hmm.
Coming through means?
Coming over.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be at my friend's later tonight. Well, how are you going to pull that off without them knowing? Ha ha, I don't have to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, oh, so you're just going to dip.
Mm-hmm.
What? God, I'm feeling old. What the hell does that mean? I'm just going to dip.
And dip out just means you're just going to leave without anybody noticing.
Oh, dip out.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh out loud. Yeah, they won't ask. Tanya, psst. What's that? Psst. That shh.
No, whatever.
Oh, just okay. Okay, I couldn't even talk to you after school without someone coming up to us. Felt like we were being watched, ha-ha. Tristan, yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I have mixed emotions towards Tristan now, just because I haven't spoken to him about the situation at all. I'm hurt. I feel betrayed. There's a lot of questions and a lot of things that I want answered, and I feel like he's the only one that could answer them. I don't feel what Tristan did was right, and I don't feel that he's been reprimanded in the way that he should, and what he did was illegal.
Okay, well, Tristan, this is the first time that you and Tanya are speaking about what happened since you were together on May 30th of 2014, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel about seeing, is it Mrs. Ramirez, or how do you refer to her?
Tanya, Miss Ramirez.
Uh-huh. How'd you refer to her that night?
I don't think I called her by name or anything like that.
So how did it come about that you were having sex with a teacher?
I actually had a friend that had her in class, and he came up to me one day and he told me that she thought I was cute and that she wanted me to get her number, but she thought that I was scared. Actually, I had that mutual friend in that classroom, and he would talk to me about how they would be texting and how they have done stuff. And so I knew about her. And when I got to her classroom, we were talking, and then I gave her my phone, she put her number in, and then the next day we started texting.
Mm-hmm. So you know who he's talking about, the mutual friend? Is that, you know who it is that introduced you?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And he said that they had done stuff. Had you done stuff with him?
No.
Do you mean sexual stuff?
Yes.
He means sexual stuff?
Yeah.
You had not?
No.
You had not had any sexual interactions with him?
No.
Had you flirted with him?
No.
Had you said you thought he was cute?
No. Not in that nature, oh, I think he's cute. I just said, oh, who's your friend? It was kind of I think a little bit of a setup type thing. He's gonna come in here and, ask you for your phone number. What would you say? And I was like, no, he's not.
Did it ever occur to you to say, I'm a teacher and you're a student, and it would be inappropriate for me to give you my number because that would be inviting you to call me personally, and that would be inappropriate?
No, because it was now the realm of normalcy for teachers or coaches to have students' numbers.
But you were neither teaching nor coaching him.
Right, which makes it even more appropriate.
So you just eliminated any reason he would have to call you other than personal.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't crossing a barrier because I wasn't, authoritative figure to him. It wasn't grade manipulation or anything of that nature. So if he went to another school or another district, it wouldn't even be against the law.
If he went to another district,
mm-hmm. Or I taught at another district.
If.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if your dog meowed, it would be a cat, but it doesn't. He went to your school district in your building, and he walked into your room and he got your number.
Mm-hmm. But none of this took place at school, so it was my personal business.
Well, where did he get the number?
Well, he got it in my classroom, but other than that.
Well, I thought you said none of it took place at school, other than him getting your number at school.
Mm-hmm.
So you were coming through after the party, right?
Yeah.
You were at some other party, and you just dipped out and went over there.
Actually, I was at a senior party, and then I went to my friend's house. And then my friend is the one who drove me over there to her house.
So what'd he do?
He just waited outside.
So this was a drive-by. Your friend knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
Am I in the twilight zone here? Honest to God.
We've learned the King High School teacher accused of having sex with a student last year could make a deal with prosecutors.
But the mother of the student told Chris 6 News this week she believes any deal may let Tanya Ramirez off too easy.
Who is making sure that Tanya Ramirez will not and cannot do this again? Who is making sure of that? What are they going to do to make sure that this woman will not sleep with another student?
I decided to take the plea deal because I wanted to move forward with my life and I felt the case needed to be over. A year later, Tristan's mom was not very happy with the plea deal, so she went to the media and called me a sexual predator, said I should have to register as a sex offender, I shouldn't be allowed in the classroom again.
Not having to register as a sex offender is not a good thing because she's still around young men.
There were rumors that I slept with other students. Those rumors were just Tristan's mom trying to stir things up. I did not sleep with any other students. And so the plea deal was taken off the table. She got what she wanted. I am angry with her. A year later, why come out in the media saying those things about me when the case is almost through? I am taking legal action against both Tristan and his mother for invasion of privacy, videotaping the sexual encounter without my knowledge, and then distributing it to his friends, and for emotional distress. I'm suing the mom because I feel it's not right to call out someone in the media. Now people look at me as a sexual predator. Her son was an adult at the time, and so he chose to have a sexual relationship with me. I want to get justice for what he did to me.
Kim, you feel like your son was victimized here,
Yes, I do.
and you're suing her for defamation?
Correct.
And because she has said what that you consider defamatory?
Well, she called me a sexual predator.
And you're not, because that's a legal term.
Right.
And you haven't been determined as a sexual predator, so therefore that's inaccurate. It's caused you reputational damage and you want damages for it.
Correct. Or I wanted an apology for going out in the media a year and a half later and saying those things.
Dr. Phil, you know what I will say? I am sorry that my son ever met Tanya Ramirez. That's the only apology that she will get from me. And if she's not a sexual predator, as she says that she's not, then why did you plead no contest to a second charge if you were?
We tried to, with the plea deal, we tried to separate them to where I would plead guilty to this charge and we would go to trial for the second one, but they wouldn't allow that with the plea deal. We mutually agreed that I would plead guilty to this charge and then plead no contest.
But Dr. Phil, would you plead no contest to something that you didn't do? Oh, I didn't do it, but I'll plead no contest to it just so I can get it out of the way.
Well, I wouldn't do a hell of a lot of things that are going on here, so
I feel that with my lawsuit against him, no matter if it's a male or female, they shouldn't have their privacy invaded in their own home. And the video went viral. So
it didn't go viral. It wasn't that good. It was only 10 seconds, baby. It was only 10 seconds.
I never imagined that my love for another human being could turn into this kind of a nightmare. I was a good teacher. I had a Christian upbringing.
Guilty 4 times over.
Lewd and lascivious sexual battery.
My relationship was about love, not lust.
Love is not a defense.
I was his biology teacher and a summer math teacher. He was in my class. He asked me for a ride to school in the mornings. In the car, we would have a personal conversation. I volunteered to accompany the Spanish class trip over to Costa Rica. That's when I got to know him better. A few weeks after we got back from Costa Rica, I began to have feelings for him, and I could tell that he felt the same way, so I let him kiss me. Things went from kissing to touching. I had sex with him. He was 15. I was a virgin. He was a virgin. I did not believe in premarital sex, but I didn't feel guilty because I loved him. He loved me. We said it to each other every time we spoke. I considered him my soulmate. We usually had sex at my apartment. He would come over after school or during the day on weekends. Sometimes his mother would drop him off so we could spend time together. His parents trusted me. It was the happiest time of my life, but also the scariest. It became like a roller coaster. I I never wanted to break up with him. His parents confronted me. It scared me because I didn't know what they knew. His mom threatened to get me fired. I was expecting the police to just barge into my classroom at any moment and arrest me. Every time there was a knock at my apartment door, I got panicky.
24-year-old Janelle Bird is now suspended without pay.
I knew I was going to be arrested, so on my attorney's advice, I turned myself in. My worst nightmare right now is having to go to prison. I have to register as a sex offender, and I can't work with children. I won't be allowed to be around them anymore. Even though everything went horribly wrong, when you love someone the way that I loved him, I still can't say that I regret loving him.
Well, I guess my first question for you is about the last thing you said on the tape. You said even as you sit here now, you don't regret this falling in love with him and getting involved with him?
I don't regret loving him, but I do regret that the relationship became physical.
But how old are you?
Right now I'm 25.
Okay, and you were 24 at the time.
Yes, sir.
And he was how old?
It was just shortly before his 16th birthday.
Okay, so he's 15 and you're 24. What are you thinking? I mean, you're 24 years old and you've got a 15-year-old child here that you had sex with 12 times?
I don't know how many times it was.
But you had sex?
Yes.
Okay. What did you say to yourself at the time?
At
I mean,
the
you had to
time-
know. You said, I wasn't thinking about the law. I understand that. But you had to be thinking about, this is a child that I'm having sex with.
No, I didn't think of it like that.
What did you think? What did you say to
When we
yourself?
were together, I didn't say anything to myself at first. We just were really good friends, and he didn't see him like a child to me. He seemed like my best friend.
But you understand that at 15, he is a child.
I do understand
I
that,
don't mean
yes.
legally. I just mean in terms of maturationally and all. This is someone that, I mean, at 15, his brain isn't through growing yet. He can't predict the consequences of his actions. You're in a position of authority. You're in a position of respect, and you exploit that into a sexual relationship.
I don't feel like I exploited anything. I didn't think of him as a child, and when we were together, it didn't seem like I was older than him.
You say, I am not a predator, and I'm not a danger to people's children, and you shouldn't be looking at me that way. Okay, now, I asked you if you thought about this at the time, and you said, well, I didn't really think about it. It just kind of happened. It happened so quick, and I didn't really think about the law, and I didn't think about what impact it might be having on him.
No,
Okay.
I didn't at first.
So you didn't think about that?
Not at first.
Okay, so we know that your judgment, your problem recognition skills, your ability to see the need for and construct a boundary between you and children is simply not there. So how can you say you're not a threat, you're not a risk? You are somebody that would be put in a position of authority with children, and you don't have the problem recognition skills to determine that this is inappropriate? How is that, how are you not a risk?
Because I believe that now I do know. I mean, now I'm very cautious. I'm just trying to do what I know I'm supposed to do, and I will do what I know I'm supposed to do.
But you said you didn't see this coming. You had unprotected sex with this boy. I mean, you're an adult. What if he got you pregnant? Did you think he was ready for that? He was ready to be the father of a child at age 15?
No.
But it didn't occur to you to protect him and you from pregnancy?
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.